like anyone's on yet. Just checking to see if there's anyone online this evening. See what's going on.
Also,
All Souls Day in the Philippines. Halloween here. Y'all call it
and All Saints Day
All Saints.
and All Souls 1 and 2.
All Souls 1 and 2. Y'all have
I
2?
mean, All Souls Day is 1, All Saints is 2.
I'm not sure how. We got 5 people on here.
I need to buy some flowers and candles for my in-law.
How's everyone doing on Halloween? We just out here chilling and grilling a little bit of stuff on the grill.
Boring what typhoon.
Grill up some burgers, and well, I done got the burger to grill, and she could do some French fries. It's kind of chilly here today. And wifey from the Philippines, and she's about to freeze to death. It feels good to me. At least the mosquitoes ain't out.
The hibernating.
Well, too cold for them to fly.
Hibernating, keeping them warm.
Uh, Maybe it get cold enough to put snakes in. Ain't nobody chatting yet.
They're busy gathering candies.
They might be out trick or treating, a lot of them for Halloween. Going to maybe the churches and stuff, different things. 'Cause they don't want you to get out and go around the houses. I don't think. This COVID's got everything shut down right now. I don't know how Christmas is going to turn out. Anybody got anything going on for Halloween out there? Got 3 people watching. Nobody chatting though. Just thought we'd come on here this evening and see what's going on YouTube. See if anybody had anything to chat about. See what's going on everybody had for this weekend. And Nadine, she's asleep, so it's peaceful and quiet out here right now. When she wakes up, it'll liven up around here then. Well, my son just made the announcement that she's awake. It'll liven up now around here. So far, no comments. Uh, uh, I'm not sure how to pronounce the first name. Corthian Mike. I saw some movement this week. Not a whole lot. Yesterday I saw a nice buck, but he was a bit far, and plus he was at a bad angle to even try to make a shot. But he was too, like I say, he was too far anyhow, or too far for me to try. And but he was following some does, and they just cool. He's had a cool snap that's come in last night. Cool front. It's cooled the weather off, and I think it got down to like 57, 56 last night here. And I think the night's supposed to get down into the 40s. So it'll probably put the bucks on the move some a little bit more. Because here we probably have 2 more good weeks in my area of movement, and then a lot of them bucks will just start going back nocturnal and moving at night. But at least this hole is cool enough to hold the mosquitoes down in the morning times where you can kind of hunt without having to swipe at them, fight and all that to try to hunt and be still. How about you? You got to go any this week? I'll tell you, this year it's been kind of a rough year here in the low country with the start with a lot of rain, water, everything flooded. Mosquitoes are bad, and then the heat. It's been rough during the summer during fishing, trying to fish. But you have to do what you can do, and it improves enough to where you can go. But all you can do is try. If you don't get out there, you ain't gonna get nothing. That's one thing for sure. Oh, you'll get back to hunting a little bit during Thanksgiving weekend, eh? Yeah, that'll be good. You from South Carolina, Mike, or Difford area? Let me look at these French fries. I got French fries in the pot over there. Trying to stay up with them before they burnt. They was trying to stick to the bottom. I think she might have dropped them in there before the grease got hot enough. Oh, you hunting cross? See, cross up near the lakes up that way. Harry's Fish Camp. I think back near St. Stephen's, where you get to St. Stephen's off of 52. I think that may be where you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. I hadn't been over there in a while. We used to go camping at Harry's Fish Camp there. We'd get out and get in the canal part in between the lakes and fish for catfish. I didn't never catch no big monster catfish over there, but most of the ones we'd be fishing for, anywhere from, I don't know, 2, 4, up to like 12, 15 pounds. But we keep a lot of the ones probably around 4 pound to around 15 pound. Say, Shelton, I see you're on here today. How you doing? And then the wifey got out here to cooking, and I had to keep jumping up and checking everything. Getting stuff done around your house there. That's good. Get everything caught up while it's cool. Weather's cooled off. You kind of get some stuff done, lately. By the time the wifey gets out here, she could have hash browns in that pot. I believe she dropped them potatoes in there, and I believe they were still kind of moist, and the grease wasn't good and hot yet, and they wanted to stick to the bottom. Oh my goodness, it'll liven up now.
There's something.
This one will talk. Say hello. Look it right there in the camera. You see in the camera? Huh? Well, who you looking at? Are you going back to your house, the other house tomorrow? See, Shelton's talking right there, but you can't hear him. See, he's talking in comments. Say, hey, Shelton. Say, Tree 51, we're just sitting out here today, good and cool. We're just sitting out here around and doing some burgers and frying up some French fries and stuff. Nadine can't go trick-or-treating on Halloween, so we'll have something. We'll do something around home to be safe here. All right, Nadine, she just woke up. You doing good, Tree 51? Did any hunting or anything lately? Shelton said, hello, cupcakes. Say, hello, Shel. No, don't be in a mood. Can't be in a mood like that. Uh-huh. Yeah, where are your mama? Oh, now you think it's funny, eh? She's laughing now. Yeah, 351, we just sitting around grilling and stuff, doing something around home here. Everything that's COVID, it got so much shut down and all that. Ain't able to get out and do stuff with the kids and all that. I don't know how Christmas is going to turn out. But better to be safe, I guess, than sorry. I mean, Shelton, you get your four-wheelers tires and stuff straight on them yet, or are you still working with that? Uh, 351, no, man, I have not been hunting away from home. We down in Charleston until the middle of December. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been up to Charleston. Yeah, Chris Cannon, yeah, we was out here messing around doing some grilling. I decided to go live while I was out here and see what everybody was up to today. see what everybody had going on, sit around and chat some. Anybody had anything they wanted to chat about, talk about. Get out here with the wifey and kids since the mosquitoes ain't chasing us and eating us up. Kind of get out in the yard and do something here lately. See yourself in there, Nadine? Did you see yourself? Look right there. You're looking the wrong place. Look in there. Yeah, Chris, the Bucks, they've been trying to rut for the last 2 weeks or so. But this cool weather has still got them moving. They still chasing the does. I saw Buck yesterday. He wasn't chasing the does, but he was right behind them, keeping them on the move. I mean, he's, I don't know, like 30 seconds behind them, just following them. But he's probably chasing them once he get off in the woods or something. But they still trying. And this cool weather has got them, I guess, where they can move around better and feel like moving. But they don't already put on their winter coats, and then all that hot weather. I mean, it's like us wearing a jacket in the summertime, but they done put on their winter coats, and then we had all that hot weather up to now. But it's supposed to be good and cool for a few days. I think it's supposed to get down in the 40s here tonight. Maybe, I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow night, maybe down in the high 30s. Yeah, it felt good. I went this morning. It felt good out there this morning. I seen a peghorn and 3 or 4 does. I didn't see them till late. It was around 8:30, 9 o'clock when I seen them. First hour or so, I didn't see anything. But it seems like here, my area, seems like by the time it gets cool enough to really feel like hunting and everything, seems like the rut starts tapering off. So usually here for maybe the next 2 weeks, you'll have some good hunting. Then after the next 2 weeks, it's kind of like them bucks go back into hiding, start moving at night mostly. And after Thanksgiving, it does get tough here. You may take a nice buck every so often then. Yeah, Chris, we could use a couple of good frosties, collards and stuff, and to kill these mosquitoes because it warms back up. They'll be eating again. Mark, see, yeah, you went this morning. Didn't see anything. We heard 10 shots. Yeah, I heard a few shots around my area, but not much. And a lot of them were way off from where I was at. But could have been deer or it could have been hogs. We got rid of so many hogs around the area that you hear shots now. You don't know whether they're shooting deer or whether they're shooting hogs. Kendall Chavis, you in the stand now? Yeah, good luck to you, man. Maybe you'll get you a big one this evening. I went yesterday evening when I seen a nice buck, but he was too far. And he was behind some does, but he was like 30 seconds behind them. I mean, it wasn't but a few seconds. And once they went through, then he come through behind them. Yeah, man. Thanks, Mark. See, yeah, man. Thanks for watching the channel and everything. I try to get as much videos as I can. Some weeks it's hard. Some weeks I can get 2 or 3 videos out. It's just according to how things work out, and then the weather and what and all I have going on, different things. No, Mark, see, I'm in Williamsburg County, near the Georgetown County line between Kingstree and Georgetown. Randy Reynolds, the river started dropping now, and because it was way up into the woods over the banks, and it's starting to drop now. And as soon as it can get down, I plan on get down there and do some fishing. Yeah, I was wanting to do some fishing. Once it gets down, some lures and different things. I was wanting to try to get down there and try out some that Mr. Royals had sent me a while back. I was wanting to get down there and try out some of his lures and things that he had sent, and work with them some and do a video and try to get the freezer stocked back up, because I got a wifey that loves to eat fish, and as fast as I can put them up in the freezer, she can cook them some kind of way. I like my sunfish fried and everything, but she eats them all kind of different ways. She'll cook them in the pan with veggies and a lot of different things. When it comes to fish, she knows all kind of ways to do fish, but I just mostly like mine fried. Kendall Chavis, years ago, I tried deer scents and stuff. Somebody shooting over there now. I tried deer scents and stuff, and I think one time I may have had some luck with the doe and heat. But right now in South Carolina, I don't think they're wanting you to use scents due to that. I think it's the waste. Due to the, she got the food fixture now. But yeah, due to the I think it's the wasting disease they was talking about. They didn't want you to use no scents if you
That's something.
artificial scents or anything that bought from the stores or doe and urine. Because they were scared that some of the does that may have come out of from another state may get started in South Carolina. I was reading a thing on HIP back before deer season started this year. But now the grunt, I've taken 3 or 4 bucks that I know of with the grunt that I know that was coming to the grunt. I've taken a few more blowing the grunt, but I'm not sure that those were coming to it. But I know 3 or 4 that I took, I know was coming to that grunt. And so that grunt, I've had hip work for me more than what I've had the doe urine work for me. Yeah, Mark, see, I know where Cooper's store is there. Yeah, and up in that area, there's some big bucks up in there. And over on the other highway, I can't remember the number, it was 521. It's the highway that runs in between there and King Street, and goes by Blakely School up in there. The other side of there is a plantation. I know some guys that hunted up in there, and they took some wall hangers there near that plantation. Mark, see, how'd I get my wife to cook on the grill? He said his wife won't work with him on the grill. She'll get out, she'll cook on charcoal, all that. If you ever been to the Philippines, I don't care where you go out over there, you can smell charcoal cooking, because a lot of their cooking is done with small gas stoves instead of using big electric stoves or something like a lot of us use here. A lot of them over there, they'll cook with a small gas stove or even charcoal. And with everywhere you go, I mean, that's for dinner and lunch. They'll take the charcoals, and if they can fry something, they'll set the pan over the charcoals and have them charcoals hot enough to boil that grease and fry their food that way. I've seen her cook stuff with the banana leaves when I was over there in the Philippines. She'd roll the food up in a banana leaf and put the banana leaf over the fire and cook the food in it. Yeah, she's over there. And one thing with her surprised me when I got you out, went fishing. And I come home and I got outside and started cleaning the fish. I didn't know anything that she was out there with a knife and she was scaling away and cutting the fish up and all that. And I wasn't used to that. I was used to when I brought the fish home, I'd have to do all the cleaning and stuff myself. She'd get right out there and work with me. And now we got where when she's able to get out there, since Nadine is here,
Tastes good.
that we get out there
Tastes good.
and she'll do the scaling and I'll do the cutting up and everything, cut the heads and stuff off.
Tastes good, Dad.
Yeah, Kendall, yeah, the grunt should still work right now because them bucks are still rutting and this cool weather. Let's have them feeling better than what they had felt, Jim. And but like I say, another 2 weeks around here where I'm at is usually different years fall different, but usually maybe the next 2 weeks will be good hunting, and then after then it'll start kind of tapering off. But like I say, different years are different, but that's usually the way it is here. By the time it gets after Thanksgiving, it gets hard here to take a buck. They done chased them does and bred and all that, and a lot of the does are going back out of heat. But a lot of the bucks I taken a while back, they were following does, and that was during when it was hot because the does were already coming in season and stuff, but the weather was just hot weather. But stay yet they nighttime or whatever, they still gonna move, breed or whatever, even though whatever the weather does. I don't know about North Carolina, Kendall. North Carolina, it may last the rut may last longer up there, but you have the pre-rut, then you got the hard rut, and then you got the after rut. Um, and all three of them are good, but I'm not sure how long the rut and the pre-rut and the after rut lasts up there. But after that hard rut, you're getting that after rut, and it just starts kind of tapering off. You see less and less movement here out the bucks. A lot of them go back to moving at night. Yeah, Mark, see, I have a little blind I'll set up and get in, but sometimes I'll sit there and I have a shooting stick and I'll sit there in the chair and I'll have my camera sit up beside me. And them deer sometimes will come out and they'll stop and try to figure out what I am because I ain't as high off the ground. Sometimes I use a blind, sometimes I don't. Sometimes you take like a muckleberry bush or something over and kind of put around you, and it helps to kind of blend you in, break up your silhouette. And deer are a curious animal, and if they don't know something, sometimes they'll stop and they'll look at it, try to figure out what it is. And sometimes I have to holler at them. Sometimes I have to grunt at them to try to get them to stop. Is it good, Nadine? Mm-hmm. This one over here is eating away. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got your plate picked right there. Hmm. Is it yummy? You ain't got time to talk. You eat. You got ketchup. Well, you got ketchup on your forehead. She's busy eating. Mmm. Yum, yum. See, them French fries, they're better than a Tootsie Roll or something, ain't it? You don't care, just so you get your tummy full. You ain't even started on the burger yet.
Have this one.
The two places I'm set up at on Mark C. It's been natural walks and crossings for years, and I was hunted out there all my life, and so I pretty much know where most of the main crossings are and stuff. But sometimes I'll put out corn, and it will attract more deer, and they'll stand around or be there longer and hold up longer for you to see what they are, to get a shot or whatever. But now one of my stands is off in the woods, but now here I got a path cut far enough that I know it's crossing. That I got the path cut to where they're crossing main crossings. They'll come across that opening in between them windrows, in between them trees, and so I can set up and hit and watch them when they cross there, and a lot of times they'll stop and feed up and down, hit on the stuff that what I took to sling and slung down to where the grass is low. But if you dog hunted, a lot of your stands that dogs run whenever you're dog hunting, there'll be a lot of the same places that when the deer is feeding that they'll cross at, that whenever they're up feeding. But I've sat there before at that stand, the one where y'all see me sitting on the trail.
Yummy.
And I got a lane chopped off into the woods in between the trees. And I put corn down there. And a couple of times I've watched that corn paw and the does be on there feeding. And the does get to watching, the 3 or 4 does, they get to watching one side of the woods, the bushes there at them, and take off and run the opposite way. And I not see anything come out. I would get ready on the side down the trail from me, and a lot of times the big buck would walk out in the road. He would come to that corn paw but wouldn't come out in it, and them does could see him right there where they was at, but I couldn't see him from where I was at. He'd be standing in the bushes and wouldn't come out in the opening. And them does would spook, and he'd decide to go on around. And a lot of the bucks I'd taken, even when on some of the corn paws, I'd have a corn paw out. A lot of the bucks that I would take wouldn't even be on my camera or nothing. I'd have a camera on the corn paw, and a lot of the bucks I'd take, I wouldn't even have on camera. So a lot of them would be avoiding the bigger bucks, be avoiding the corn paw or going around the corn paws. Say, Big J Hunter, yeah, man, good luck to you there. I hope you get a big one this evening.
Yummy.
Well, Mark sees a person wants a piece of meat out there where we hunt. They'll take a doe or something, and then we next the end of the year, me and my brothers or some of us, we might take 1 or even 2 does at the end of the year, right before the last week or something before the season goes out. If we want, something to put in the freezer or something. We try not to go out there to slaughter them or anything, or slaughter the young bucks. We try to let the younger bucks grow, and we don't want to hurt the doe population so much that we ain't got. But we try to take a few of them out a year, but we don't go overboard, with it. Yeah, Big J, if you get you one this evening, there's something over, leave us a comment today or something if you get him. But wish you luck there, man. Get out there one day and do some fishing. I'm ready to get in the boat and do some fishing again. Yeah, thank you, Tooth. Yeah, man. Glad you like the channel there. I enjoy y'all watching. keeping up with the channel. I just try to share some of the things I do around here and the way I do it or the way we do it here, a lot of us, my area, and try to share it with y'all because different areas of people do things different. And so many people do the same thing, but so many different ways of doing some things that you learn new things. I'm always learning. Thanks, 351, man. That's nice of you. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, tooth. Yeah, I try to. I'm no expert, but I try to. A lot of times, even if I ain't talking about it, if people be watching or something, sometimes I forget to explain what I'm doing. But a lot of times, if you watch and you can see how I'm fishing the spinners or the earthworms or something, or bottom fishing or anything, you see how I do it or whatever. But then again, if I get down there and they're not biting one way, then I'll try something different. I'll try to figure out the pattern of the fish and how they responding. And the beetle spin, I've been down there and they would run it down and catch whatever hit the water. And then I've been down there and I would have to slow that beetle spin down so much because the fish would be lazy and wouldn't want to chase it. And I've been down there and had to slow it down until I just was reeling to get them to hit at it, to strike at it. Mark, see, my wife hadn't got to go out there with me since Nadine was born. Nadine's a little bit over 2 years old now. It's been what, Grace? 2 years? 2 years since she hadn't been with me in 2 years. I think last time she went with me was in 2017. But she loves to get out there. She loves to watch them deer. She'd got her hunting license and everything in 2016. She went and took the test and all that, and she's got her hunting license. And I showed her how to shoot 243. But she loves to go out there. And the old bear, I got him on camera a bunch of times on my trail cam. I had a bear that was coming in. He was getting on my corn pile every night and eating. And I got hundreds of pictures of him. But then come to find out there was 3 bears, because one particular night I got a picture of the old big bow bear on one corn pile, and the same night there was 2 other bears on my other corn pile. But anyhow, she wanted to see a bear in the wild. And I got off work that evening. I was sitting in the tree stand half asleep, trying to rest. And she was from one thing. I had a box stand. She was from one side to the other and watching. And I kind of peeked through one of the slots that I had in there to see out of, and I seen the old bear coming up the edge of the trail. And I told her, I said, John's the bear you wanted to see in real life. And she was watching. And I took the rifle and laid the scope up there where she could look through that scope. And the bear started getting closer and closer to the stand. She got us. She said, "Don't you let that thing come down here. That thing's huge." But anyhow, after then, she ain't never wanted to see a bear in real life again. But he'd come along the road. I guess he was digging for grubs or something. He'd keep stopping and taking his paws and pulling the dirt back off the edge of the set bank. I figured he was trying to dig up worms or grubs or something other to nibble on. But yeah, she loves to watch nature, but she hadn't got to go in the last 2 years.
You're done?
You ain't even eat none of your hamburger?
Wash them? Yeah, you can wash them. Ready to sleep?
Oh yeah, I have seen. About a month ago, I was on the way to the club. Probably about a mile from my here. I was going around the curve, and I wasn't driving about 35 or 40. And when I started to get around the curve, there was a bear in my lane, a black bear on a black highway, and hit Foggy. And I didn't see that bear. I was on top of him, but I wasn't running fast. And I don't know if he was standing in the lane or if he was coming across the highway. But when I seen him, he was already in my lane. And he hit the woods on the other side across that ditch.
That's what
But he probably about maybe 180 pound, maybe 200 pound bear. He wasn't no real big black bear. And the bow that I had that was coming to my corn, he'd come down and lay down on top of it and rake the corn back to him. He'd lay down on top of the corn paw and just pull the corn to him and eat instead of standing up and eating it. Lay down on his belly and pull the corn to him. He was a big bear. But that one, I know he went over 200. He's probably pushing 300 or more. He's a big black bear for around here. He was tall, long-legged. He had long legs on him. Now the other two bears that I got on camera the same night he was on at one of my stands, them two bears, they was fat, but they were like their legs wasn't as long as shorter built.
No.
But for a lot of years we didn't see bears around here, but now in the last 20 years, but then I heard that one thing going on was back next to Myrtle Beach and Conway and places that they're clearing off so much land and putting up housing developments and stuff that people say that it's pushing the bears and stuff more inland to where I live at. They say that the animals are having to migrate back in further where there's more woods and stuff. There ain't so much land clearing and development going on. Yeah, too, if a bear gets your attention, especially, and you got to walk to your tree stand in the morning, it's supposed daylight and it's dark. You got to walk through them woods and it's dark and you with a flashlight and toting a bag over your shoulder and deer's tearing the bushes down and snorting and all that, and you know there's a bear in the area. It's kind of spooky.
It's a link. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tooth, I mostly fished the Black River. I fished all my life, and that's what I do most of my fishing in. So many different ways that I know to fish. I know where a lot of the deep holes are, where the fish should be at a certain time of the year. If I can't find them one way, I'll try something different, try to find them. If they ain't biting on the top or on the cricket or on the cork or on the beetle spin, then I'll go to bottom fishing, or I'll throw out in the middle of the river and fish on the bottom. Fishing straight down inside the boat in them deep holes, some people call it lead lining, straight lining. I've heard it called all kind of things.
Oh, where are you going?
But we've always called it bobbing the bottom or something like that. I've been to Santee a couple of times. I ain't never been to Santee much, but Santee got a lot of fishing hit. And I've fished the lakes over there a few times, and I'm not much up on where the brim and stuff are on the lakes, but I know the canal there down from Harry's, I've been in it and caught nice messes of catfish in it. Now, when the shad's running over in end of February and then through March, sometime I'll take a trip or two over there to St. Stephen's and catch the shad in the canal over there. Take a little green grub, get in that canal, and it's fun to catch them shad. I'll only eat 1 or 2 shad a year. They real rich and they a lot of bones in them. But then I'll take the others while I have, and I'll wrap them up in some newspaper and put them in a plastic Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer and save them for setting bush lines or trot lines when I get a chance to start setting them. And shad fun to catch on the rod and reel. Yeah, Mark, see that yeah, a lot of people don't like the mudfish, but a lot of times, well, not a lot of time, but sometimes, especially during the winter, mudfish is, if you eat a mudfish, he's better in the winter time, or that's the way I've always seen it. He's seems like to me he's more firm in the winter time. Summertime he's so mushy. But when I scale them, you can skin them also, but I scale mine. But when I wash them, I'll wash them good, and I'll keep pulling my hands down that water while the water runs, and try to get as much of that stuff out the skin as I can. and I'll salt and pepper him good. Put a lot of pepper on him. Then I'll deep fry him until it kind of firms that meat up. But if you just fry them in shallow grease, and the head don't seem to do much for them, but if you put them in some deep grease and fry them in some deep grease, it'll pull that meat and it'll make it more firm than what it was at first. But during the winter, I'll eat 1 or 2 mudfish, and especially if it's what we call a puppy mud, where he's only half grown, half size mudfish. But now that one without the spot, the old big female, we've always called her cotton mud. Now she is mushy. Now if you get the one with the spot on the tail, that's the male. We call them a hard mud, and they more firm than that female is. If you're gonna eat one, but a lot of people don't like them, but some people eat them. And some people here used to cook them in stews. They make a mudfish stew. Yeah, too. Yeah, man. It's summertime. It's good to get out and fish and all that. I love it, man. It's yeah, Richard Altman. Yeah, I don't cook one, but it's been a while. But I just got my trot line tag in yesterday. I'd ordered my trot line tag. They must only give you one now. They used to give you 3 here in South Carolina. But I got my trot line tag, and I'm gonna try to get down there as soon as this river gets down. It's dropping now. Get down there and said hit, catch me some catfish, and get here one day and cook up a stew on the grill here outside. Get out here and cook up a good catfish stew. But this time, the last one I had, I didn't have much catfish. But this time I'm wanting it where I can load the pot down with catfish when I cook it. Audra Matinee, hello from Virginia. My family loves your videos. Keep the camera rolling. God bless. Yeah, Audra, thank y'all for watching. God bless y'all. Yeah, thank you for watching the channel, and glad your family loves it. I try to keep things to where it's family oriented, the family oriented channel, and keep it simple and everything that, like I grew up, and where people can understand it, and more laid back channel, and instead of getting and trying to be wide open about things or something, I just try to keep it laid back like I normally am. Yeah, William Lent, since Richard Altman mentioned stew, it got me. I could taste some catfish stew or something of it right now, especially this cold weather come in too. I tell you something else. Cold weather, I like to cook up a good pot of chili and beans. It's also good when it's cold weather. Good pot of chili and beans will warm you up. But the catfish stew is good too during this weather starts turning cold. This kid's enjoying the outside. She loves it when she comes outside. She's into everything. Loves to explore. I took her fishing with me one day, and it was just me and her. She she threw everything out the boat with the fish box. I thought I was gonna have to tie a rope to my rod and reels in case when she threw them overboard. Mark, see the red breasts. Uh, Last year they were doing pretty good. I mean, you mostly catch brim and stuff, but last year and the year before I caught more red breast than I had in probably 10 years. And they were some years before 10 years ago that I didn't even catch a red breast. Fish all year and not even catch a red breast. But I know Hugo took a lot of them out when it came through. Hugo killed a lot of species of fish. But they say another problem was before Hugo, I had never caught flatheads in Black River. I don't know if they turn them loose in Black River after Hugo, But I don't never remember flatheads being in Black River before Hugo. But anyhow, after Hugo, I started catching flatheads in Black River. And after then, they say that's another thing what caused the red breast population in Black River back then to drop down was the uh, flathead catfish eating up so much of the red breasts. But anyhow, the red breasts in the last year and this year, I caught more of them than I had in years. So the red breast is trying to make a comeback. There was a couple of years there that the warmouth, I was having trouble catching them, but it seemed like the warmouth's doing good now. But for years, you couldn't set a trot line in Black River either. And it seemed like since they started allowing trot lines and that and catching the big catfish with live brim and stuff, and people now sometimes will catch 40, 50, 60 pound catfish in Black River. It used to be unheard of. And now people catch them, and that could be one reason, and that might be what's helping some of the red breasts and stuff come back, is by taking some of them big monstrous fish out of there, and might be letting more of the red breasts get to be able to survive. Anything, if you don't manage it, it will take over. The deer population, if they was to stop hunting for 3 years, able to grow a flower around your house here, even where I live at, with just a swamp coming around me, because now I have trouble with the garden. So you stop deer hunting for 3 years and don't kill does or bucks, the population will explode. But then it gets so bad, the sooner or later, when something overpopulates, a disease or something will come out, and nature will take care of itself. If it has to, that disease has to come back to kill it back. But now the coyotes are working on the deer population here also. We have a big problem with coyotes. And 20 years ago, they never see a coyote, or 20 years and back, up to about 20 years ago, you didn't ever see a coyote in South Carolina. But now coyotes are everywhere in South Carolina, and now we have a problem with them. You need one of those electric pressure cookers if you want to cook chili and beans or anything that don't have them. I had never used an electric pressure cooker before, Richard. I'd always cook mine in the pot and pan. I ain't never tried one, but they say those pressure cookers work good. I ain't never known anybody had an electric one. But I seen my mother-in-law. She used to cook chicken perlos and stuff with the um, pressure cooker, and it wouldn't be but a little while, and the chicken would be done. It'd be ready to put the rice and the sausage and stuff in. She got where she was fast at it with it. But yeah, man, I ain't never tried one. I know it should be good on that pressure cooker. Now I think the pressure cooker holds all the flavoring and all that in without it escaping. From what I've heard before, it keeps everything in there with what you're cooking. It's more flavorful. Dale Dixon, I hadn't seen any armadillos around here, but I'd heard that I think the other side of St. Stephen's, I think somebody had posted that up near St. Stephen's, around St. Stephen's, that somebody had took a picture of one dead on the highway up that way. But they say that the armadillos are starting to get to different places in South Carolina, but I hadn't seen one yet. And there was something of else too. I can't remember what kind of lizard that is, but it's a big lizard, and they're not indigenous to South Carolina or indigenous to America. And somehow or another, they started populating, and now they say that they're in South Carolina, and they want to, if you see one, they want you to take it out the wild or report it, because they say that they love to eat eggs and turkey eggs and stuff. They worried about it putting a hurt on the turkey population. I can't remember the name of that lizard right now, but they say they get to be 3 or 4 foot long, and they fast too, and they are aggressive. And if a female turkey or something over, they big enough that they'll fight back, and if they get her by the leg or something, they could break her leg or something. They say the jaws are real powerful. They got real big jaws on them. But I can't remember the name of the lizard, but I seen a thing on the South Carolina web page the other day, and it was talking about it on there. But I think it's a black and white looking lizard, and they're not indigenous to America, but they has got, I think they've come up kind of from Georgia, Florida, or somewhere, and now they've made it into South Carolina. Yeah, Richie, it sounds like it'd be amazing. Yeah, they say them pressure cook. They say them things really cook. Macedonia, Dixon Brown, yeah. But there's so much stuff getting in America now, and it's spreading all over that could hurt the population of some of the native animals that we have here. And I'm not surprised if them, what is it, pythons, Burmese python? It's one of the pythons that they's having trouble with in Florida. Or is it boa constrictor? It's either the python or the boa constrictor. But I think it's python, one of the species of python, and they having trouble with them in Florida. And I'm surprised some of them ain't been spotted in South Carolina yet. Sam Landrum, I'd love to see how to make the deer stew. Yeah, I'll cook up some deer stew one day, Sam, and get a deer stew on. I think I fried it a couple of times on some of the videos, but I'll get out one day and make a stew with it and cook up a good stew. But also, my mom used to do this years ago, and this is how I learned to do it. You can take the neck or the front shoulders or anything like that and put it in a slow cooker overnight and let it cook all night in a slow cooker. And next morning, put you some onions and stuff in there and let it cook for a little bit longer with the onions and stuff. And then take it out the slow cooker and put it in a pan, and then put you some sauce and stuff on it and hash it up. Because you cooking that slow cooker all night, hit a hash all the pieces, it'll come to pieces. And then you hash it up and put you some sauce or even some spice on it and stick it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes and turn the oven on bake and bake it. And then you got you a good hash, like a barbecue or something of it, except for you don't have any fat in it. But now you could mix some fat or something of it in it to give it more flavor in there. But I like it just with the meat, with the barbecue sauce or even the seasoning on it, hashed up and bake it in that oven. It kind of dries it out a little bit, and that was good. That's what my mom and them used to do with the necks and the stuff years ago, the tough meat, the front shoulders, and then the ribs. They would just bake them in the oven there. Yeah, Tooth. Yeah, man. You have a great weekend too. Be careful out there. And it's Halloween and everything. And I imagine some of the kids, a lot of them be going to church and stuff. And everybody be careful. But yeah, we just staying home here for Halloween here around the house. You know, that's why I got out here and cook something on here. And this COVID, man, it got everything messed up. Kids can't even enjoy themselves. But got to be safe. But yes, Tooth, be safe, man. Glad you tuned in and watched the live here and come in and chat it with us some. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. My wife, she wants to, she cooks all kind of different things from the Philippines over there. She went to college. She got her degree in cooking. She went to college in the Philippines for 2 years and got a degree in cooking, but she cooks a lot of Asian and Oriental foods. But she can cook shrimp fried rice, pork fried rice, all kind of other things. I don't even know the name of adobo, uh, pancit, things that it's hard for me to remember the name. Carry, things I can't even say the name of them. She have all kind of stuff cooked up sometimes. A lot of times we have big dinner. She'll cook up part Asian food for people that want to try Asian, and she'll cook American food also. So then we have a way to have American food and Filipino. She can cook Filipino. She can cook some Chinese and some Japanese dishes. So when it comes to Orient, she's training a little bit of all of it. Send you a text. Okay, Richard. Yeah, man, I'll do that. Yeah. Grace, you want to come get this text number down?
I'm still calling in the Philippines while they still have power.
No. Yeah, Richard, I get the number down. I give you a text there. But also, I have on my about page. I have my address in my about page there also. My home address and stuff, and my email. My email address is in my about page too. William Lent, the white perch. I think that's what we used to call Virginia perch. At a certain time of the year, I can't remember what time of the year it was. Maybe February or March. And I remember that they used to come up and we'd catch them in Black River, throwing out near the middle with the earthworms, fishing on the bottom. And we would catch, we call them Virginia perch, but I guess it's the white perch. And they were good eating. They only got so big, but yeah, they were good eating. So I think that's the white perch. And but now, sometime when they come through, you catch 3 or 4 or 5 fast as you could throw it, and it's like they would come through in schools or something. And but yeah, and they were good eating. But I hadn't caught none in a while. It's been a while since I caught any of them. Yeah, Sam, I might do that one sometime on here or something, and try to do something like that. But yeah, I enjoy y'all watching the channel and keeping up with it and the comments and stuff. Ethan, I can take 2 more. I got 2 restricted tags left, and I've been holding on to them. I've been saving them, and I've seen a few nice bucks, but I was trying to hold on to them last 2 tags until I can, see something. I'm trying to get some. I've seen some nice ones. I mean, nice bucks, but I'm waiting on something, what we would call a wall hanger or something. But I try to hold on to them 2 tags until I see something real big. Uh, but some years you might see a buck like that. Sometimes you liable to hunt and not see one, that's like I'm talking about, like I have on the wall or something. But it gets next to the end of the year, then I might have to take one of the nicer bucks or something. If, I want to take a buck before the season's over. But anyhow, I'm holding on to them 2 tags, trying to wait, and I got my trail cams out, and I'm trying to see what's in my area on some of the trails and see how big some of the bucks are that I can get on the trail camera. Ethan, I process some of them myself. A lot of time I just cut them and quarter them up, and then later I can either cut them up into cubes if I want to make a stew or something. or I can cut the parts up in for frying that I want to cut up for frying. And then I got a little grinder and stuff in there. If I get some fat or something over from the grocery store, then I can cook the sausage and stuff myself for the burger. But then sometimes I take some of them to the processor because it's easier for him to go ahead and do it, and much easier on me. Yeah, Mark. See, I turkey hunt. Uh, Sometime I didn't turkey hunt last year, but some years I get out there and turkey hunt. I think I had 1 or 2 turkey videos from when I first started with the channel, and that's when I was just starting, and I don't even think I know what subscribers or anything was back then. I just know that people would watch your videos sometime on YouTube. And so back then I was just doing, videos and stuff, and they was only sometime only 4 or 5 people would see a video. But that's back when I first getting the channel started. But yeah, I turkey hunt sometime. I mean, I ain't no expert at it or nothing, but I like to take the box call. I ain't used to using the mouthpiece, but I take that box call, and I like the call, and I like to see the gobbler coming in and him throw them tail feathers out and go to strutting. It's pretty. It's pretty when you see him do that. I like to see him come walking in strutting like that. Jacob, so I met the wife online. Me and her met on a chat line. I chatted with her for over a year, about a year and a half. And after a year and a half, I told her, I said, she wanted me to go over there to see her. And I told her, I said, well, if you chat with me for 6 more months, I said, then I'll go over there. And I had never been out of America. And she chatted with me. And so we chatted over 2 years. And then it was like the 3rd year. And she chatted with me that long. So I went over there to see her. I hadn't never been out of America, and I got a plane ticket. No, I hadn't never been on the airplane. And got a plane ticket and went over there and met her and her family. And then after I come back, then I went back the second time the next year. And then after the second time, I'll be going there and spending 3 weeks over there. Then uh, we filed for the paperwork and to go through the process and stuff to be able to bring her over here. And that took almost a year. It was over 6 months. And we went through all the process and the things we had to do and the CSI, and there's a lot of process, a lot of government stuff and background checks and all that you had to go through to bring somebody from the Philippines over here. Well, we had Nadine, before the baby was born, she did everything with me. Anytime I'd get off work, anything, if I wanted to go hunting or fishing, she wanted to go everywhere I went. And over there, they fish a lot, but a lot of them use nets and things like that because they fishing a lot of them for a living over there instead of recreation. And she got you in. I took her fishing with the brim busters and stuff, and let her catch some of the brim and stuff on the brim busters. And then when winter come around, she fell in love with that brim buster, catching them brim and stuff with the cricket and the cork. When winter come around, I had to show her how to use the rod and reel, and she was hooked on fishing. Then she said fishing was addictive. But now she don't. She went with me, her and the little girl, one time this summer. Y'all probably seen the video of it, and she still likes it, still loves it. But that kid, we have a time holding the kid down while we fishing or whatever. But still, Nadine will be a little bit bigger this year, and maybe she'll calm down more. She's in them terrible twos right now, and exploring and into everything. But that's how she learns. Well, it's starting to get over, y'all, and evenings, and I think I'm gonna go in here and fix me a sandwich and go ahead and get me something to eat. And see what's going on the television. Either I'll mess around on YouTube here a while and watch some other videos. Well, thank you, Audra. Yeah, she's a pretty little girl. Yeah, she's come a long ways from when she was born. She was born in 7 months, and she was premature, and they had her hooked up to tubes and all that. She kept her in the hospital for 3 weeks, and she's come a long ways. But yeah, there's a beautiful little girl. I'm proud of her. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. Appreciate y'all coming in and watching, and y'all have a safe weekend and stay safe out there. And Mr. Richard, I'll give you a text there in a little while, and sure appreciate it. But anyhow, y'all be safe and take care till the next time. Chat with you later.